Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my video. My name is Jasmine Maritania and I am a second semester student majoring in English education at the Universitas Pekalongan. And today I'm very exciting to present my midterm test project on a very special topic, phrasal verb. And we're going to break down what they are, how they are work, and why they are the soul of natural English. So let's get started. So okay guys, what the lesson today is about phrasal verb, and this is about what we want to study about what is phrasal verb, why are they different from regular verbs, the building blocks or component, word order, separable and inseparable. 5 is why should we learn phrasal verb, and the last is literal and idiom, the case of learning the phrasal verb. Okay, so for first, we want to know about what is phrasal verb. Simply put, a phrasal verb is a team of words consisting of 2 or 3 something parts, but they have function as a single unit of meaning. So you cannot separate them when translating. So I'll give you one example about take off. So the meaning is take is mengambil and off is mematikan, but you can translating is mengambil mematikan, but the meaning is lepas landas. So you cannot separate when you translating about that. So and then when the structure have in general have a two structure, verb and particle. The particle is preposition or adverb, verb plus adverb or verb plus preposition. This is have a new meaning, but however there is another structure what we need to know. This is 3-part phrasal verb. This is verb, adverb, and preposition. Okay, and the second is why are they different from regular verbs? This is because imagine you have the word look. The meaning is to see or melihat, and if you add a tail, ekor, in particle in behind it, the meaning can change drastically from the original word. So for example, like look, the meaning of look is melihat, but when you add for, look for, so the meaning is mencari sesuatu, and look after, the meaning is merawat atau menjaga seseorang atau sesuatu, and the last is look up to, the meaning is mengagumi seseorang. So you can see once this team joins together, they create a new identifier. You cannot translate them one by one or word for word because the meaning will become very strange. So the meaning in Indonesia is di phrasal verb ini kita tidak bisa menerjemahkan secara terpotong-potong secara kata per kata, tapi mereka ini memiliki satu kesatuan yang tidak dapat dipisahkan artinya. So in the third material, we want to study about the building blocks or the component about the phrasal verb. In general, the phrasal verb have two components. This is verb plus adverb and verb plus preposition. Verb plus adverb usually indicates direction or manner. Verb plus adverb biasanya menunjukkan arah atau cara. For example, like stand up or go away. Berdiri atau pergi jauh. And the difference when is verb plus preposition, the preposition usually connects the verb to an object. Biasanya menghubungkan suatu kata kerja ini dengan objek. For example, like believe in. Believe in, the meaning is percaya pada. For other example, like believe in me, believe in yourself. Percayalah padaku, percayalah pada dirimu sendiri. Or the other example, like wait for. And then when in general we have two component, but we have one component again. This is about verb, adverb, and plus preposition. In terms of meaning, they remain is one package. Secara makna, mereka tetap satu makna. They are inseparable and even more solid than the two-word version. The adverb, second word, modifies the verb meaning, while the preposition, third word, acts as a bridge or glue to connect the object. I'll give you one example like run out of. The meaning is run is berlari, and out, the function of adverb untuk mengubah arti asli dari berlari ini. Run out, ketika run digabung dengan out, maka ini berdua memiliki arti yaitu adalah habis. And then the third, we must do out of. This is be a glue. Ini berfungsi menjadi lem kepada objeknya. Ini yang habis itu apa? Nah, yang habis itu adalah of money. So the full is I run out of money. The meaning is aku kehabisan uang. Maksud dari the building blocks or component list this adverb have a function for modifies the word meaning, mengubah arti asli, and then when the preposition or the third word have a function as a bridge or glue, sebagai lem atau untuk menempelkan sebuah an object, like that. Okay guys, and for the next material about word order, about separable versus separable. So, di materi ini kita tuh bakal belajar tentang objeknya itu bisa ditaruh tengah atau tidak. Like this. After knowing the ingredients or structure, we must to know how to use them. Setelah kita tahu ingredients atau structure yang tadi yang ada 3, there are three of structure, verb plus add, verb plus preposition, and verb add, verb plus preposition. So we must to know about separable and inseparable, bisa dipisah atau tidak. Objeknya ini bisa ditaruh tengah atau harus diletakkan di belakang. So for first is A, separable. Separable the meaning is bisa dipisah. This theme is very flexible. You can put the object at the end or sandwich in the middle. For example, like turn off. Turn off, the meaning is mematikan. And then, the object can be in the middle. For example, like turn the TV off. And this is can here in the behind. For example, like please turn off the TV, like that. And when inseparable or the meaning is tidak bisa dipisah, so this theme is loyal. They must always stick together and cannot be separated by any object. The meaning is the object must in the behind, must always place in the behind. So for example, like look after, or the meaning is merawat. What is correct is she looks after her sister. But incorrect is she looks her sister after. And I'll give you majority rule about separable. If the object is a pronoun, it, me, them, him, her, us, and you, is must be placed in the middle. Okay? So for example, like I like this song, turn it off. This is correct, but incorrect is turn off it. So this is the meaning can be confused. Okay guys, so for next slide, we want to study about why are some separable and other not. This is how do we know if it can be placed in the middle or if it always has to be placed in the back. So in the material, di materi kali ini kita itu bakal menjelaskan, bakal mengerti tentang kapan aja sih objek ini bisa diletakkan di tengah ataupun harus diletakkan di belakang. So we have a 3 logical reason for your notes. For one is particle type or technical reason. If the tails is an adverb, usually separable. Kalau ekornya adalah adverb, biasanya bisa dipisah. Because an adverb explain how an action is done, its position is more flexible. But when the tail is preposition usually inseparable because a preposition function as a clue from the object. So in one, this is about particle type. When the tail, ketika ekornya itu adalah adverb, usually separable, biasanya bisa dipisah. But when the tail is preposition, so this is usually inseparable, biasanya tidak bisa dipisah. For the example, like when the first adverb is put on, you can say put your jacket on. When the preposition is must to believe in me, we cannot say believe me in, okay? And then the second is origin of meaning about literal and idiom. The literal often separable because we want to emphasize which object is being moved. Example, bring the book back. When idiom often inseparable because if separate, the secret meaning might disappear or become confusing. What the meaning on Indonesia is ketika katanya itu merupakan adalah sebuah literal atau fisik, biasanya ini bisa dipisah. But when the words is idiom atau have a makna baru, itu biasanya separable atau tetap menempel atau tidak bisa dipisah. For example, in literal is bring the book back, bawa bukunya kembali, kayak gitu. And when in idiom, I'll give you example like piece of cake. So the meaning piece of cake itu dia memiliki arti sendiri, tidak bisa diartikan sebagai potongan dari roti. And the last, this is about number of team member. So the meaning is when two words might be separable. Kalau timnya cuma 2, kemungkinan itu bisa dipindah. And when the 3 words, this is always inseparable because the structure is too long and listener would get tired waiting to verb on finish put on object in the middle. What the meaning? Ketika katanya itu cuma 2 kata, itu kemungkinan bisa dipisah, but at least itu tergantung sama poin yang satu tadi. But when the 3 words have a 3 words, so this is always inseparable because the structure is too long and listener will get tired. Mereka tuh pokoknya selalu tidak bisa dipisah karena nanti yang baca itu akan kebingungan jika objeknya ini diletakkan di tengah. Okay guys, so for the next slide, we want to study about why should we learn about phrasal verb. Kenapa sih kita harus banget belajar phrasal verb? Is it important? Apakah itu penting? So the answer is very important because in English have 2 parts. First is formal parts and 2 is everyday parts. In formal parts, using fancy single word, for example, extinguish. In everyday part or phrasal verb, using words combination, for example, like put out. Jadi di bahasa Inggris itu memiliki 2 jalur. Pertama adalah jalur formal, yang kedua adalah jalur sehari-hari. Jalur formal itu ya ketika menggunakan bahasa-bahasa formal atau bahasa-bahasa keren, contohnya seperti extinguish. Jalur sehari-hari itu menggunakan gabungan kata. Contohnya, for example, like put out. Okay, so if you don't learn phrasal verb, you will sound like a robot or a walking dictionary. Native speakers rarely say, I will omit that part. They more often say, I'll leave that part out. Jadi, so if you don't study about phrasal verb, jadi ketika kamu nggak belajar tentang phrasal verb ini, you can look like a robot. Kamu bakal terlihat seperti robot ataupun walking dictionary ataupun kamu yang berjalan. Because karena pembicaraanmu itu terlalu formal ataupun terlalu baku, like that. Sedangkan meanwhile a native speaker, sedangkan penutur asli sendiri itu rarely say, dia jarang banget bilang I will omit that part. Mereka lebih sering bilang I'll leave that part out. So, jadi tujuannya kita belajar ini itu supaya bahasa Inggrismu itu terlihat jauh lebih natural dan kamu lebih paham tentang apa sih yang diomongin di film, lagu, ataupun percakapan santai. Jadi itu adalah fungsi why we should learn about the phrasal verb. Okay, and then we want to study about less our material. This is before closing, we must to study about literal and idiom because this is the key of learning phrasal verb. Jadi mempelajari literal dan idiom ini adalah kunci bagaimana kita bisa paham tentang apa itu phrasal verb dan lain-lain. Bagaimana kita bisa mengerti tentang phrasal verb itu sendiri. So, 1. Literal is a foundation, pondasi atau dasar. It helps you understand the logic participle up, down, in, out, of. Belajar makna literal membantu kamu memahami logika partikel up, down, it, out, of, atau yang lain-lain, or the other example. For example, like if you understand that up literally means upward, ketika kamu tahu kalau misalnya arti up itu sendiri artinya adalah ke atas, so you can easily understand, maka kamu akan mudah memahami kenapa si stand up ini adalah memiliki arti literal, karena stand up itu berdiri ke atas, yang mengartikan adalah bangun, like that. And when the two is idiom. Idiom, this is of soul, jiwa, natural language. Ini adalah bahasa gaul ataupun bahasa alami. To avoid sounding like a robot, you must master idiomatic meaning. Seperti yang kamu bilang tadi, ya supaya kita tidak terdengar seperti robot, maka kita tuh harus juga belajar tentang makna idiom dari ini. I'll give you example like speak up. Speak up in the formal or in literal have a mean is bicara keras, but in idiomatic have a mean is keberanian dalam menyampaikan pendapat. So what is the idiom? The idiom itu jadi sebuah kata phrasal verb itu nggak cuma memiliki arti literalnya aja, tapi dia itu satu kata satu phrasal verb ini biasanya itu memiliki banyak arti. Contohnya seperti speak up, itu secara literal memiliki arti bicara keras, tapi secara idiomnya itu memiliki banyak makna, yaitu seperti beranian dalam menyampaikan pendapat. Or the other example like take off. Secara literalnya take off itu artinya adalah mematikan ataupun menutup, but kita juga punya. Okay guys, so that's all for me. I hope this can help you understand phrasal verb better. And thank you for watching, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.